is reminiscent of a Formula One race car streaking down the track. It approaches impossibly fast, yet stops on a dime, allowing the first true glimpse of its angular body. It's a supercar to be sure, and as its engine revs higher, there's a growing anticipation of what is barely contained beneath the hood. 10 years in the making from Lexus, the LFA is a limited production vehicle, and while only a fortunate 500 people will hold the keys to one, the LFA has made an impression far beyond those fortunate few. The LFA is an exotic front-engine rear-wheel drive coupe that Lexus developed in conjunction with their Formula One racing team. There was a mandate: build the best supercar possible. Tech Toy 360 talked technology with Lexus's Paul Williamsen.
The engineers were given this incredibly broad brief to simply build the finest car they could build. And they made several different attempts looking at a very light, small sports car, looking at turbochargers, superchargers, other types of powertrains, but they decided to go with a Formula One derived, naturally aspirated V10 and build the car around that.
This began an unprecedented push in automotive technology. And though designs and materials have improved over its decade-long gestation, the LFA emerged, and as good as it gets.
The engineering process for the LFA was unique in our system because the engineers were given a wide latitude. They did a lot of freelancing. They made up a lot of stuff on their own that wouldn't have been done on a conventional Lexus vehicle.
Engineers and designers test drove many supercars and didn't move forward with their design until they were certain the LFA could stand with or above the most advanced vehicles ever assembled.
And they compared the best supercars from Italy, from Germany, from other countries, and they compared those to the progress they were making on the LFA. And only when they knew that they were meeting that level of performance did they commit the design to go into production.
The LFA was designed by the Lexus styling studio, working in concert with engineers so that every aspect of the LFA's outer body was not only stylish, but functional.
This is one of the first projects that the Lexus styling studio undertook when they were chartered. It had to set the tone as the halo car, and at the same time it had to meet some very specific functional requirements.
3D composites, clay models, technology tested, pushed design and engineering teams, agonizing over every minute detail, making history. From the purposely crafted curves, to the crafted scoops that direct airflow to cool the engine, to the rear spoiler that deploys to improve aerodynamics.
Even though the entire car, the whole engine, everything is hand assembled, we use computers to track every single stage of the assembly. The engine builders at the Yamaha Grand Prix shop that build the engine for the LFA use torque wrenches that are wirelessly connected to a central computer network system. Every nut they torque when they assemble the engine, the torque is recorded. And not only that, the network knows which nut they're torquing. It's actually tracking where the wrench is.
When construction is complete, each LFA is test-driven at 2 tracks by a team of elite drivers to make sure it's in perfect driving condition. The heart of the LFA is the unique 4.8-litre naturally aspirated V10 engine. It is lightweight and compact, but produces a mind-bending 553 horsepower and a top speed of 202 miles per hour. Developed and engineered for Lexus by Yamaha, the engine revs to an unheard of 9,000 RPM, and with a maximum torque of 354 pound-feet, peaking at 6,800 RPM, it's easy to understand why this refined beast can hang with anything from Ferrari or Porsche without batting an eyelash. The powerful LFA engine is housed within a carbon fiber chassis, and in fact most of the LFA is constructed of carbon fiber, made in-house at Motomachi plant in Japan.
By the time they'd made the first styling concept, the engineers had already decided that their original plan to put an aluminum body over an aluminum chassis wasn't going to meet their targets. And they re-engineered the entire car 3 years into the project to re-engineer it with carbon fiber structure. So all the body panels you see and everything underneath the car you can't see isn't metal, it's carbon fiber.
The effect is apparent, taking off like a rocket, even from a standing start. The Brembo carbon ceramic brakes feature 15.4-inch discs. The LFA boasts a rear-mounted 6-speed automated manual transaxle, which incorporates a Torsen limited slip differential. To minimize weight, the suspension pieces and the remote reservoir monotube KYB dampers are aluminum. Driving a LFA enables drivers to select one of 4 driving modes: automatic, normal, wet and sport. The driver can also select manual shift speeds, which are controlled via alloy paddle shifters that are attached to the steering column.
So even though it's a manual transmission for very direct, very fast shifting, the shifts themselves are commanded by the driver using the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. And there's no clutch pedal. The vehicle can slip or drop the clutch as quickly or as smoothly as it needs to, depending on the driver's driving style and preferences.
The supercar's futuristic instrument panel is actually a single image projected from a thin-film LCD display. This allows the cluster to be controlled and shifted by the driver.
And in fact, you can actually move the primary instrument cluster off the center if you want to bring up a detailed menu to change settings or to check the oil level or to use a lap timer function.
In sport mode, the background color goes from black to white, and the increments between the tax numbers get bigger. At $350,000, the LFA supercar delivers in technology and performance, and has surely made its mark on automotive technology.